we have a really awesome chart that I handcrafted with stone and chisel that we're going to throw up here in a second. Look at that chart.
Look at that
Okay.
stuff. Look at
You
that
can't even read
chiseling.
it. Will, you can't read this chart.
I've gotten so much feedback this morning. Kind of wish I didn't wake up today.
Good.
Okay, let's talk about BeePool. Let's talk about more Ethereum mining. So the little world of Ethereum mining is not interesting to most folk, but I find it interesting. And recently we've had a lot of news in this really small sector. So Ethermine, I'm getting so confused now. SparkPool and BeePool are two Ethereum pools located in China, and they both have shuttered services. SparkPool announced yesterday that all international clients will have to find a different pool by the 30th of September. BeePool followed up today and said by October 15th, everyone on their account will also have to find a different pool to use. So that makes up about 26% of all Ethereum's hash rate. So a few things just to clear up. That doesn't mean that Ethereum's hash rate is going away. It means that all the miners who subscribe to that pool are going to have to find another pool to use. What this kind of indicates, though, is that the Chinese government is cracking down on almost every single sector of the cryptocurrency industry. So we had some really nice reporting from Oya Shen on CoinDesk last week talking about the kind of clamping down on the gray zones of cryptocurrency industry in China, which would include crypto to crypto transactions. And that's why these pools are trying to shut down, because they kind of operate in that sense. You know, they're not an exchange. They're not miners themselves, but they do transfer mining profits to miners, which is a crypto transaction. And they don't want to be attacked by the Chinese government, so they're shutting down their services. SparkPool was founded in 2016. BeePool's also, I think, 2018, but don't quote me on that. So older legacy pools that are choosing not to operate anymore, shutting down their services completely so they don't get rigged up by the authorities. Pretty interesting story, just continued pressure on the Chinese front. Jen, I want to throw this to you. When you see all this happening, what's your thought?
Well, I mean, I'm still kind of forming my thoughts around. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny that you threw it to me. I'm still forming my thoughts around this. I mean, when I look at your chart, those are two major pools. So where are these miners going to go? Tell me. What's going to happen?
Mining is very decentralized. It's almost like a node network. There we go. That's a beautiful chart. Size could be a little larger. Okay, so miners operate wherever, and Ethereum miners are often GPU miners, which a lot of like your gamer nerds out there, they turn off World of Warcraft and they flip the switch, and then they're mining Ethereum, and you can kind of make some passive income that way. How you mine is you then point that energy from your computer towards a mining pool, which is basically just a URL, can do little connections there. Boom, you have Ethereum streaming to your wallet. SparkPool, BeePool, and maybe others, we'll see, have to shut down because the Chinese government's coming after them. So basically, it just means that we're going to have different pools pop up that's going to take that hash rate. And we're also seeing services that SparkPool and BeePool offer are going to go away. For example, SparkPool offers Gas Now, which is a really popular tracker DeFi ecosystem for understanding gas networks. They also offer something called Taichi Network, which is like a private transaction network for if you really want to get some stealthy Ethereum profits. So we're just seeing, like, just in general, a larger crackdown on Ethereum or just the cryptocurrency in general in China. So less to do with mining here and more to do with the general cryptocurrency industry. Zach, get your thoughts on this one.
I've just been imagining Will Foxley at like a Senate hearing, like in DC, like at some future date, and he's up there and he's got his chart. He's got his big chart like on the board, like on the little easel, and he's like pointing the chart. He's got the stick, he's got the laser pointer, and he's just making the facts known on crypto mining.
And Jen's gawking
at me
in the
context. Yeah, and then there's like the buy Bitcoin guy back there.
Supporter, Will.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I was thinking about this whole time. Just that mental image is what came to mind. That's it. That's it, man. I mean, I think okay. We saw this yesterday. We're seeing it again today. The ripple effects of this latest crackdown are very far reaching. And I think that's why it's not easy to discount this as, oh, this is just a recycled China FUD. This is actually a bit different. I think we're seeing some of the ramifications a bit more quickly than we had in the past. So great to be flagging sort of the latest developments on that front for sure.
Totally, Naomi. Yeah, let's get some original thoughts here.
Original thoughts. So it's interesting, some miners had quietly resumed Ethereum mining operations in China after the crackdown in May. And I wonder how many times that's going to keep going, whether each time there's a ban, maybe people are scared off to start off with, and then just quietly they re-enter. Because there are a lot of people in China who are big risk takers, and there's a lot at stake, if they can't operate this global financial system, and currently a lot of their choices are being curtailed. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto at large offers tremendous opportunity for these people, which may be worth taking tremendous risks. So even if the government is cracking down, it is difficult for the government to enforce this a total ban. So there are going to be big gaps in their surveillance system of cryptocurrency, of mining, of all of this. And I think that as people start to figure out what those gaps are, they're going to start to take advantage of them. And China's going to be back in the game, but just under the radar, just because this stuff is too important and it's too valuable to the people there. But I'll throw this back to you, Will.
Yeah, last thought before we toss it to Zach for this nice Revolut scoop. It's interesting that the Ethereum community has put a lot of time and energy into the Chinese market. For instance, Vitalik Buterin taught himself Chinese while inventing Ethereum. He was doing both at the same time, and he would go over to China quite often.
Such an overachiever.
I know.
It's wild just to think about that. And he's put a lot of time and effort into building up these Chinese communities. And a lot of these Chinese Ethereum communities were mining based. They weren't necessarily always based on the trading side or other aspects. They're based on the mining side because that was more approachable for them. Now that's cut off. And so we've seen the second largest economy in the world is closing its doors, not only to Ethereum, but cryptocurrency in general. And I'm wondering what the ripple effects are for that going forward over the next 5 years.